My friends, there comes a point in every life, or rather in the journey of every soul sleeping within the dream of life, where you must stop. You must cease this endless looking outward, this frantic searching through the world of shadows for an answer to a question that is not being asked by the world, but by you. You feel the air grow heavy, you see the mornings grow quiet, you feel the nights stretch long, and in this self-imposed stillness you begin to question. You look at the ledger of your life, at the cold, hard facts of Caesar's world, and you ask yourself, am I where I am supposed to be? Did I, somewhere in the forgotten past, miss the turn? Did I fail the test? Am I late for my own destiny? You have been taught to believe in this external path, this line of fate drawn by a hand other than your own. You have been trained from your first breath to look upon the world of circumstance as the cause, and upon yourself as the effect. You see your bank account as a fact. You see your age as a fact. You see your past as a solid, unmovable granite block behind you, dictating what is possible for the road ahead. And so you live in a state of quiet regret or loud desperation, always looking for a sign outside of yourself, a sign in the stars, a sign in the words of another, a sign in the opportunity that might one day just appear. But I have come here tonight to tell you something profound, something you know in the very depths of your being but have chosen to forget. You did not miss the turn. You did not fail. You are not late. You could not be, for there is no external path to miss. There is no pre-written destiny to fail. There is no cosmic schedule on which you can be late. You must awaken to this one singular, magnificent truth. You are not on a path. You are the path. This world and everything in it is not a solid, objective reality that happens to you. It is a mirror. It is a fluid, plastic, immediate out-picturing of your own consciousness. Your own wonderful human imagination is the one and only creative power. It is the God of the scriptures. It is the I am that was and is and ever shall be. There is no other cause. There is no other power. The life you are experiencing, with all its joys and all its sorrows, is not your destiny. It is your mirror. It is the perfect, faithful, and utterly impersonal reflection of what you are assuming yourself to be. You are not late. You have not failed. You have simply in your divine slumber been assuming and dwelling in states that you do not desire. You have been unconsciously identifying yourself with lack, with fear, with loneliness, or with the feeling of being one who has missed the turn. And the world, being only your mirror, has no choice but to reflect this unlovely assumption back to you as your reality. It cannot help it. The mirror does not judge. The mirror does not plan. The mirror does not prepare you. It simply reflects. Look at your life. Every tear, every loss, every broken promise, every sleepless night, every rejection that made you doubt your own worth. You have been told that this was meant to be. You have been comforted with the idea that some external intelligence, some separate God was sharpening your soul, molding your spirit, or preparing you for greatness. I tell you, this is the grand illusion that keeps man in chains. It is the opiate that keeps you asleep in the tomb of limitation. Your suffering was not preparation by a wise God. It was production by a sleeping God. The sleeping God is you. It was you who, in imagination, accepted a belief in your own smallness. It was you who entertained the shadow of fear. It was you who consented to the evidence of your senses over the promise of your desire. Your world is not preparing you. It is obeying you. It is conforming, without question or delay, to the concepts you hold of yourself. Every loss you experienced was the harvest of a seed you planted, perhaps unknowingly, when you felt, I am one who loses. Every rejection was the direct result of a hidden, internal assumption of, I am one who is not wanted. The world did not do this to you. It simply revealed what you were doing to yourself in the one and only true reality, your own imagination. The world is full of fighters. It is full of well-meaning men and women who tell you to get up and fight your circumstances. They tell you to battle your poverty, to attack your illness, to wage war on your loneliness. This is the way of the world. It is the way of Caesar. And it is the way of total, utter failure. To fight your circumstance is to declare that it is real. To battle your problem is to give it power. To resist the shadow in the mirror is madness. You cannot change the reflection by striking the glass. You cannot alter the world out there by rearranging its pieces. Life, which is your own consciousness, is not whispering for you to get up and fight. The fight is the illusion. The fight is the hypnosis. Your own imagination, your true self, your I am, is whispering for you to do something entirely different. It is not asking you to struggle. It is asking you to awaken. It is not demanding a battle. It is inviting you to assume you are not a victim of the past. You are the creator of the present. And the past itself, which seems so real, is only the shadow cast by your former assumptions. You do not need to fight it. You only need to turn your back on it. Stop, I beg you. Stop looking at the mirror. Stop analyzing the reflection. Stop trying to find the cause of your life in the effects of your life. The entire world of facts is a shadow. It has no causal power. You are not in this world. This world is in you. It is projected from you. The feeling of failure is just that, a feeling, a state of consciousness. But you are not the state. You are the divine, operant power who chooses which state to enter. You have been entering the state of IZU, by accident, by the habit of your senses, by the suggestions of the world. But now you are awakening. You are hearing the truth. And the truth is that you are the one and only cause. There is no destiny for you, there is only destiny from you. The turn you think you missed does not exist. The only turn is the one you make now in consciousness. Turn away from the world of shadows. Turn away from the evidence of your senses. Turn away from the long, sorrowful story of your past, which was only a dream. The call is not to get up and fight. The call is to get up and assume, to rise not in physical effort, but in consciousness, and dare to claim that which your senses and your reason would deny. The entire world is waiting, not for you to fight it, but for you to define it. You are not a creature of circumstance. You are the creator of it. You are not the reflection in the mirror. You are the one who is looking. You were not designed to survive circumstance. You were built to create circumstance. This is the truth that has been hidden from you, the truth you have been running from, the truth that now demands to be heard. You have been taught to believe you are a small physical being, a victim of fate, a servant to the world of facts. You have been told that your life is a reaction to external forces, to the economy, to your past, to the whims of others. I am here to tell you that this is the great lie, the slumber that has held humanity in its grip for centuries. The power you have been praying to, the God you have been begging for intervention from, is not outside of you. That power is your own consciousness. It is your I am, or I am is the name of God. It is the creative power of the universe, and it is not separate from you. When you say, I am, before you even finish the sentence, you have spoken the divine name. You have invoked the one only creative power. When you say, I am lost, I am poor, I am sick, I am lonely, you are taking the name of God in vain. You are attaching the sacred, creative power of your own I amness to a state of lack, and your world, which is nothing more than your consciousness outpictured, must and will objectify that state. It has no choice. This is the law. You have been looking at your pain, at your valley of despair, and you have been told it is a foundation for character test from God. What a tragic misunderstanding! That valley is not a foundation, it is a state of consciousness. It is a prison you have built and are decorating with the bricks of your own limiting beliefs. But here is the secret: a prison built of consciousness, of feeling, can be unlocked. You hold the key. You have always held the key. The key is not to fight the walls of the prison. The key is not to analyze why you are in the valley. The key is to assume you are already out. The key is to change your I am. You have been running from your own greatness, not because it scares you, but because you have not yet dared to accept that you are this greatness. You have been on your knees, praying to a God out there, when the one and only God, your own wonderful human imagination, is within you. You are the very power you have been seeking. That burning in your chest, that feeling you call purpose, that insistent pull toward more, that is not some external destiny knocking. That is your I am, that is your true divine self, the creator within you, demanding recognition as the one and only reality. It is tired of your slumber. It is tired of you wearing the small, cramped garment of a man who fails or a woman who waits. It is demanding that you take off those rags and claim your royal inheritance now. You cannot play small anymore. To do so is to deny your own divinity. To continue to look at the world of shadows and call it real while calling your desire a dream is the only sin. You say you want the promise, but not the process. You want the blessing, but not the breaking. You have misunderstood the process entirely. The world teaches you that the process is hard work. It is struggle, it is climbing the ladder, it is fighting against competition. It is sacrificing the present for a future that may never arrive. That is not God's process. That is Caesar's. That is the process of the sleeping man. The true process, the only process, happens entirely within. It is the psychological, creative act of daring to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. That is the entire process. It is not a fight, it is an acceptance. And what of this breaking? You fear it. You believe that to get your desire, you must be broken by life, tested and tried. No, my friends, the breaking is not the breaking of you. You, the I am, are eternal and unbreakable. The breaking is the death of the old state. It is the shattering of the assumption that holds you prisoner. To be born, the seed must break its shell. The shell is not the seed, it is the limitation on the seed. The man you are now, the one who lacks, the one who fears, is the shell. That old man must be broken. He must be shed. How do you break him? Not by fighting him. You break him by ignoring him. You break him by turning your full attention to the man you desire to be. You want to be the diamond. You have been taught to believe you must endure rounds of external pressure to become it. This is false. The diamond is simply a state. You are coal right now only because you are assuming I am coal. To become the diamond, you must, in your own imagination, become the diamond. You must stop identifying with the man of lack. You must this very moment wealthy. I am secure. I am loved. I am the diamond. You must feel what it would be like if it were true. This is where the world stops. This is where the sleeping man balks. But I am not. he cries. Look at my bank account, look at my empty home, look at the facts, and that, my friends, is the great test. Will you believe your senses, which can only report on the past, or will you believe your imagination, which is the creative reality? This brings us to the true definition of courage. Courage is not, as you have been told, acting in spite of fear. That is still compromise. That is still acknowledging fear as a power. No, true courage is absolute loyalty to your unseen, assumed reality. It is not acting in spite of fear. It is acting from the new assumption. It is turning your back completely on the state of fear. When you are assuming, I am secure, the feeling of fear cannot coexist with that state. You do not fight the fear, you displace it by occupying a new state. To be courageous is to be so lost in the feeling, the knowing that your wish is fulfilled, that the facts of the world become unreal to you. They become the shadows, the ghosts of old assumptions. You do not deny them, you are simply indifferent to them, for you know they are not the cause. You know you are the cause. You do not become unbreakable by enduring pain. You become unbreakable by realizing that in your true being, your imagination, your I am, you cannot be touched. You are not the body that feels pain. You are not the mind that feels fear. You are the I am that is assuming this experience, and you can at any moment choose to assume a new one. Faith is not hope. Faith is not a wish. Faith is feeling. When logic, when your friends, when your bank book, when your body all say, give up, it is impossible, your new assumption held in faith whispers, it is done. This is the secret. You must reach a point of inner conviction, a quiet feeling of finality. It is the feeling of the seed being planted. It is the feeling of relief. If you truly desired a thing, and you suddenly knew it was yours, what would you feel? You would feel relief. You would feel gratitude. You would feel peace. That is the feeling you must capture. That is the Sabbath of the soul, the state of rest where you know the work is finished. The moment you truly feel your wish fulfilled, the moment you occupy that state and it feels natural to you, you have planted the seed in the fertile soil of your subconsciousness. The entire creative process is now finished. It is done, your part is over. Now, the world, which is only yourself pushed out, must begin to rearrange itself to reflect this new inner reality. It must. It has no choice. This is the bridge of incidents you have heard spoken of. It is the series of events, often in ways your reason cannot fathom, that will be built to bring your assumption into the world of shadows. You will not have to do anything to make it happen. You will be moved, you will be inspired, you will meet the right person, you will get the right call, you will have the right idea, all in a perfectly natural way. The world will shift around your unshakable assumption. Your only job is to remain faithful to that assumption. This is where most men fail. They plant the seed by assuming the feeling, and then, because the sprout does not appear tomorrow, they dig it up with worry. They look at the world of Caesar and say, it didn't work. They have returned to their old state. And the world, which was already in motion to bring them their desire, sighs and returns to its old pattern. Do not be this man. Do not treat your dream as an option or a possibility. It is not. Once you have imagined it, it is a reality in the true world of imagination. Your only choice is whether or not you will occupy that reality. Stop waiting for permission. Who would you ask? The shadow world. Would you ask the mirror for permission to change your face? You are the one and only authority. Your I am is the only king. So, you do not fight for your dream. You do not work for it in the way the world means. You claim it. You assume it. You live from it in imagination until it hardens into fact. This is not philosophy. This is the unchangeable law of your own being. This is the mechanism of all creation. And now, my friends, you feel it. You feel a stirring in the air. You sense a vibration, a tremble beneath the surface of the real. You hear in the silence of your own heart the ringing of an alarm. You see the world of shadows, the world you were taught to believe was so solid, and it appears to be crumbling. You see the systems, the institutions, the great edifices of finance and government and social order, and they are shaking. You see the illusions that have held humanity captive for centuries, and they are fracturing, revealing the emptiness behind the facade. You sense that something is coming. You feel that the world is on the precipice of a great and terrible change. And you are right. But I must tell you the truth of this change, for it is not what you have been taught to believe. It is not what the world of Caesar in its fear will tell you it is. It is not the world that is crumbling. It is the illusion of its power over you. The only alarm that is ringing is not an external warning of doom. It is the trumpet call of your own consciousness, your I am, awakening from its deep, deep slumber. You, the sleeping god, have been dreaming a dream of limitation. You have been dreaming that you are a small, insignificant creature, a puppet of fate, a victim of circumstance, a body trapped in a world that you did not create and cannot control. That is the dream, and that is the illusion that is now shattering. This great shift, this end of the world, that has been prophesied is not an Armageddon of fire and stone. It is the end of your belief in a power outside of yourself. It is the end of the old man. The old consciousness, the old set of assumptions that created the limited world you have so long inhabited. For ans, you have believed in a second power. You have believed in a God separate from you and a devil separate from you. You have believed in good and evil as external forces at war for your soul. You have believed in facts and circumstances as causes rather than effects. You have given your divine authority, your I am, to the shadows on the wall. You have looked at the mirror and believed the reflection was the one who was real. That is the illusion, and that is what is crumbling. The entire drama is unfolding within your own consciousness. The alarms are the persistent, undeniable longings within you, the questions that will no longer be silenced. Who am I? Why am I here? Is this all there is? That is your true self, your I am, the Christ within you, knocking on the door of your sleeping mind. That is the Creator, impatient to awaken within the form of man. This is the great shift, the realization that the world is not happening to you, it is happening from you. The foundations are shaking. You have been told to fear this. But I tell you, rejoice, for the foundations that are shaking are the false foundations of your own limiting beliefs. You are finally realizing that you are the foundation. You are the rock upon which all of reality is built. The entire world is a projection of your mind, your consciousness. This is the reckoning. It is not a judgment from an angry God. It is the moment you reckon with the truth. The moment you are forced to see that your life, your world, your finances, your health, your relationships, they are and have always been the perfect outpicturing of your own beliefs and assumptions. This is the great secret that has been kept from you, the secret that is now being shouted from the rooftops. You are not a victim of the world, you are the world. The world is yourself pushed out. And so you are told to be ready. You are told to prepare. And in their slumber, the masses scramble. They buy, they hoard, they build bunkers, they run, they hide, they look for a leader, a government, a new system to save them. They are trying to prepare for the shadow by rearranging the other shadows. They are trying to find safety in the illusion that is crumbling. This is the madness of the sleeping man. I tell you, there is no safety in the shadow. There is no protection in the world of Caesar. To prepare in this way is to declare with your own I am that you believe in the power of the shadow. It is to confess your faith in disaster. And by the unshakable law, if you have faith in disaster, disaster you shall receive. This is not the preparation of the awakened man. This is not the readiness of which I speak. The only preparation is to go within. The only readiness is to master your inner state. The only safety is to stand firm in the I am, your orc, your rock, your fortress. In this time of change is not a physical place. It is your own mastered imagination. It is your unshakable knowing of who you are. You are not the body that can be harmed. You are not the name that can be shamed. You are not the bank account that can be emptied. You are the I am. You are the creative power, the consciousness, the one and only God, and you are simply assuming this current experience. So, when the world of shadows shifts and trembles, when the news shouts of chaos, when your senses report lack and limitation, you must be unmoved. How? By knowing with a conviction that is deeper than all facts, that it is only a reflection. You must know that what you are seeing is the outpicturing of a former state of consciousness, either your own or the collective's, which you have unconsciously consented to. You, the awakened man, know that you are the reality. The world is the shadow. The shadow cannot harm the body. The reflection in the mirror cannot cut the man who is shaving. It has no power. It is not the cause. You must stop reacting. To react to the shadow is to give it life. To fear the reflection is to call it real, and in so doing, to sentence yourself to continue projecting it. When you see the chaos, when you see the crumbling, you must not enter into that state. You must turn your back. You must go within and stand firm in your desired state. This is the great test. It is the judgment day, and you are the one who is both the judge and the judged. The world will present you with its most terrifying facts, its most convincing evidence of lack and fear. And it will ask you, now who do you believe, me or your I am? If you believe the world, you will be swept away in the storm of its creation. You will be pulled down with the crumbling illusions. But if you stand firm, if you hold to your assumption, if you say, I do not care what my senses show me, I do not care what the world shouts, I know who I am secure, I am abundant, I am peace, I am, and my world is only the reflection of my I am-ness. If you can do that, if you can remain faithful to your inner state, you will be the one who walks on water. You will be the one who is unmoved in the midst of the storm. You will be the man who stands on the rock of his own consciousness while the illusions of sand are washed away. The word of Caesar, the governments, the economies, the institutions, they all seem to be shaking. And do you know why? Because they are nothing more than the collective I am of humanity pushed out. They are the objectification of a collective belief in external authority, in powerlessness, in lack, and in fear. For centuries, man has projected his power onto these institutions. He has said, you have power over me, you provide my safety, you give me my value, and so they did. But now man, the individual, is beginning to awaken. Even one by one, here and there, individuals like you are beginning to remember. You are beginning to realize where I am the power. I am the cause. And as you, the individual, begin to withdraw your belief, which is your creative power, from these external structures, they must crumble. They have no foundation in themselves. Their only foundation was your belief in them. Their only life was the life you gave them. This is the coming out of Babylon. Babylon is not a place, it is a state of consciousness. It is the belief in a power other than your own imagination. So you are not a victim of this crumbling. You are the cause of it because you are awakening from it. Do not then turn back in fear and try to repair the crumbling walls of your own prison. Let them fall. The world does not need another warrior to fight the shadows. That is the old dream, the dream of conflict and duality. It does not need another politician, another reformer, another man who will fix the reflection. The world needs an awakener. It needs you. It needs you to awaken fully to the truth that your consciousness is the one and only God, and your imagination is the power that creates all reality. Your only role in this great shift is to awaken yourself. And in awakening yourself, you become a light of the world. A light that is nothing more than your own awakened, controlled imagination. You do not change the world by fighting it. You do not save it by protesting it. You change the world by changing your assumption of it. You want to see peace. You must turn your back on the fact of war. Go within and assume the feeling of I am peace. You must live in that state. You want to see abundance. You must turn your back on the evidence of lack and assume the feeling of I am abundant. You do this not just for yourself but for the world. For the world is only yourself pushed out. As you change your state, the reflection must change. This is the only work there is. This is the only preparation that has any meaning. You were not made for this moment. In the sense of an external plan, you are creating this moment. You are not a spectator to this shift. You are the shift. The entire drama is unfolding within you. The end of the world is the end of your old, limited concept of self. The new heaven and new earth are not places. They are your new, expanded consciousness. So, when you hear the alarms, do not run. When you see the crumbling, do not fear. Go within. Ask yourself this one question. What is it I desire? Do not wait. Do not wait for the shift to be over. Do not wait for the world to give you permission. You are the one who gives permission. You are the shift. Do not beg. Do not hope. Assume. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Assume the feeling of the man or woman you desire to be. Walk as that being now. This very moment. In the midst of the chaos, you must be the one who is inwardly still, wrapped in the feeling of it is done. As you do this, as you remain faithful to this new divine state, you will watch as the world of shadows conforms to your command. You will see not a crumbling, but a reforming. The old world will dissolve, and your new world, the reflection of your new assumption, will appear. This is the only preparation. This is the only answer. This is the only path. You are not the victim of this moment. You are the operant power. You are I am. Now awaken and claim the world that is your birthright.